Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A formal recommendation by a former employer to a potential future employer describing the person's qualifications and dependability. Requests for character references are all too often answered evasively. A publication, or a passage from a publication, that is referred to. He carried an armful of references back to his desk. The act of referring or consulting. Reference to an encyclopedia produced the answer. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. The most direct or specific meaning of a word or expression. The class of objects that an expression refers to. A remark that calls attention to something or someone. The speaker made several references to his wife. Computer science. The code that identifies where a piece of information is stored. A book to which you can refer for authoritative facts. He contributed articles to the basic reference work on that topic. Refer to. He referenced his colleague's work. An indicator that orients you generally. It is used as a reference for comparing the heating and the electrical energy involved. The relation between a word or phrase and the object or idea it refers to. He argued that reference is a consequence of conditioned reflexes. A formal recommendation by a former employer to a potential future employer describing the person's qualifications and dependability. Requests for character references are all too often answered evasively. A person of a specified kind, usually with many eccentricities. A real character. The inherent complex of attributes that determines a person's moral and ethical actions and reactions. Education has for its object the formation of character. An imaginary person represented in a work of fiction, play or film or story. She is the main character in the novel. A written symbol that is used to represent speech. The Greek alphabet has 24 characters. A characteristic property that defines the apparent individual nature of something. The radical character of our demands. An actor's portrayal of someone in a play. Engrave or inscribe characters on. Genetics. An attribute, structural or functional, that is determined by a gene or group of genes. Good repute. He is a man of character. A formal recommendation by a former employer to a potential future employer describing the person's qualifications and dependability. Requests for character references are all too often answered evasively. A publication, or a passage from a publication, that is referred to. He spent hours looking for the source of that quotation. Someone who originates or causes or initiates something. Anything, a person or animal or plant or substance, in which an infectious agent normally lives and multiplies. The place where something begins, where it springs into being. Pittsburgh is the source of the Ohio River. Anything that provides inspiration for later work. A person who supplies information. A document, or organization, from which information is obtained. The reporter had two sources for the story. A facility where something is available. Get, a product, from another country or business. She sourced a supply of carpet. Specify the origin of. The writer carefully sourced her report. Technology. A process by which energy or a substance enters a system. A heat source. The act of referring or consulting. A conference, usually with someone important. He had a consultation with the judge. A conference between two or more people to consider a particular question. Frequent consultations with his lawyer. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. The acknowledgments are usually printed at the front of a book. A statement acknowledging something or someone. She must have seen him, but she gave no sign of acknowledgment. The state or quality of being recognized or acknowledged. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. The student's essay failed to list several important citations. A passage or expression that is quoted or cited. An official award, as for bravery or service, usually given as formal public statement. A summons that commands the appearance of a party at a proceeding. Law. The act of citing, as of spoken words or written passages or legal precedents, etc. Thoroughbred that won the Triple Crown in 1948. Refer to for illustration or proof. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. Advance evidence for. Repeat a passage from. Call in an official matter, such as to attend court. Refer to. Make reference to. Commend. He was cited for his outstanding achievements. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. Ascribe an achievement to. She was not properly credited in the program. An accounting entry acknowledging income or capital items. An estimate, based on previous dealings, of a person's or an organization's ability to fulfill their financial commitments. Approval. He was given credit for his work. Arrangement for deferred payment for goods and services. Recognition by a college or university that a course of studies has been successfully completed, typically measured in semester hours. Accounting. Enter as credit. We credit your account with $100. An entry on a list of persons who contributed to a film or written work. The credits were given at the end of the film. Give someone credit for something. We credited her for saving our jobs. Have trust in. Trust in the truth or veracity of. Money available for a client to borrow. Used in the phrase, to your credit, in order to indicate an achievement deserving praise. She already had several performances to her credit. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. The article includes mention of similar clinical cases. An official recognition of merit. Although he didn't win the prize, he did get special mention. A remark that calls attention to something or someone. She made frequent mention of her promotion. Make mention of. Make reference to. His name was mentioned in connection with the invention. Commend. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. A passage or expression that is quoted or cited. A statement of the current market price of a security or commodity. The practice of quoting from books or plays, etc. Since he lacks originality, he must rely on quotation. The most direct or specific meaning of a word or expression. The class of objects that an expression refers to. The act of indicating or pointing out by name. The most direct or specific meaning of a word or expression. The class of objects that an expression refers to. The extension of satellite of Mars is the set containing only Deimos and Phobos. An addition that extends a main building. Amount or degree or range to which something extends. The wire has an extension of 50 feet. An addition to the length of something. The spreading of something, a belief or practice, into new regions. An additional telephone set that is connected to the same telephone line. An educational opportunity provided by colleges and universities to people who are not enrolled as regular students. A string of characters beginning with a period and followed by one or more letters. The optional second part of a PC computer file name. Most applications provide extensions for the files they create. Act of expanding in scope, making more widely available. Extension of the program to all in need. Act of stretching or straightening out a flexed limb. A mutually agreed delay in the date set for the completion of a job or payment of a debt. They applied for an extension of the loan. The ability to raise the working leg high in the air. The dancer was praised for her uncanny extension. Put an address on an envelope. Social skill. Give a speech to. The chairman addressed the board of trustees. Written directions for finding some location. Written on letters or packages that are to be delivered to that location. Speak to someone. Computer science. The code that identifies where a piece of information is stored. Speak to. He addressed the crowd outside the window. The act of delivering a formal spoken communication to an audience. He listened to an address on minor Roman poets. Greet, as with a prescribed form, title, or name. He always addresses me with, Sir. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. Access or locate by address. Address or apply oneself to something, direct one's efforts towards something, such as a question. Adjust and aim, a golf ball, at in preparation of hitting. A sign in front of a house or business carrying the conventional form by which its location is described. Direct a question at someone. The manner of speaking to another individual. He failed in his manner of address to the captain. The place where a person or organization can be found or communicated with. The stance assumed by a golfer in preparation for hitting a golf ball. Computer science. The code that identifies where a piece of information is stored. A book to which you can refer for authoritative facts. A book to which you can refer for authoritative facts. A book to which you can refer for authoritative facts. He contributed articles to the basic reference work on that topic. An indicator that orients you generally. An indicator that orients you generally. Any quality or characteristic that gains a person a favorable reception or acceptance or admission. Her pleasant personality is already a recommendation. Something that recommends, or expresses commendation of, a person or thing as worthy or desirable. something, as a course of action, that is recommended as advisable. Something that recommends, or expresses commendation of, a person or thing as worthy or desirable. Good news. Something given or done as an expression of esteem. Something that serves as evidence. Something that recommends, or expresses commendation of, a person or thing as worthy or desirable. Expressing admiration or appreciation. Testimonial dinner. Of or relating to or constituting testimony. The business of issuing printed matter for sale or distribution. The act of issuing printed materials. A copy of a printed work offered for distribution. The communication of something to the public, making information generally known. A military engagement. He saw action in Korea. A judicial proceeding brought by one party against another. One party prosecutes another for a wrong done or for protection of a right or for prevention of a wrong. The operating part that transmits power to a mechanism. The piano had a very stiff action. Institute legal proceedings against. File a suit against. She actioned the company for discrimination. Put in effect. He actioned the operation. The state of being active. He is out of action. A process existing in or produced by nature, rather than by the intent of human beings. The action of natural forces. An act by a government body or supranational organization. Recent federal action undermined the segregationist position. Something done, usually as opposed to something said. There were stories of murders and other unnatural actions. The most important or interesting work or activity in a specific area or field. The action is no longer in technology stocks but in municipal bonds. The series of events that form a plot. His novels always have a lot of action. The trait of being active and energetic and forceful. A man of action. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. He peeled off 5 1,000 zloty notes. A notation representing the pitch and duration of a musical sound. The singer held the note too long. A short personal letter. A promise to pay a specified amount on demand or at a certain time. I had to co-sign his note at the bank. Make mention of. They noted that it was a fine day to go sailing. Observe with care or pay close attention to. Take note of this chemical reaction. High status importance owing to marked superiority. Make a written note of. She noted everything the teacher said that morning. A comment or instruction, usually added. His notes were appended at the end of the article. Notice or perceive. She noted that someone was following her. A brief written record. He made a note of the appointment. A characteristic emotional quality. It ended on a sour note. A tone of voice that shows what the speaker is feeling. There was a note of uncertainty in his voice. The act of adding notes. A comment or instruction, usually added. A technical system of symbols used to represent special things. A comment or instruction, usually added. He added a short notation to the address on the envelope. The activity of representing something by a special system of marks or characters. The property of holding together and retaining its shape. Considerable capital, wealth or income. The idea that is intended. What a communication that is about something is about. The choicest or most essential or most vital part of some idea or experience. A particular kind or species of matter with uniform properties. Shigella is one of the most toxic substances known to man. Material of a particular kind or constitution. The immune response recognizes invading substances. The real physical matter of which a person or thing consists. DNA is the substance of our genes. Rich in significance or implication. A meaning look. The message that is intended or expressed or signified. What is the meaning of this sentence? The idea that is intended. What is the meaning of this proverb? Make or write a comment on. A statement that expresses a personal opinion or belief or adds information. Make mention of. Explicit notice. It passed without remark.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.